Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. Not in our name. Not in our name. Not in our name. Not in our name. Put the weapons down. Put the weapons down. Put the weapons down. Put the weapons down. Bring them home now. Bring them home now. Bring them home now. Bring them home now. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Good. Okay. That was really beautiful. Welcome. This way? Okay. Louder? Okay. Welcome. I'm truly so grateful to be here with all of you tonight, celebrating the last night of Hanukkah. Over 2 months since October 7th, it often feels impossible to see the light, but we are trying to honor it through action this week. So thank you all so much for coming out to continue calling for a ceasefire. My name is Maddie, and I'll be your MC tonight. I'm a member of If Not Now, and I grew up about 30 blocks from here in Representative Nadler's district, where my mom still lives. She would be here tonight, but she is currently making kugel, which I will be eating later. If you're not familiar with If Not Now, we are a movement of American Jews organizing our community to end U.S. support for Israel's apartheid system. And demand equality, justice, and a thriving future for all Palestinians and Israelis. I especially want to welcome you all of you for whom this is your first If Not Now event. Page turn. I want to welcome you if you're taking a risk to be here tonight. I want to welcome you if you have family or friends in Israel and Palestine who have been hurt, killed, or are missing. I want to welcome Black Jews, Indigenous Jews, Sephardi and Mizrahi Jews, and Jews of color. I want to welcome Israelis and Israeli Americans. I want to welcome Palestinians. I want to welcome those who have spent a lot of time in Jewish spaces, and I want to welcome those who rarely or never spend time in Jewish spaces. I want to welcome all non-Jewish allies. If you are feeling outrage, grief, despair, and hope all at once, we are with you. And if you are ready to take action, you have come to the right place. Tonight we gather together as neighbors and friends to light Hanukkah candles, uniting around these flames that represent hope and resilience. We also gather as New York 12 constituents to urge our Representative Jerry Nadler to call for an immediate and permanent ceasefire and an end to all Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire blocks north of the district he now represents at Columbia University. As a student, he founded an activist group called the West Side Kids, which organized to support liberal anti-Vietnam War candidates. Tonight, as we stand here together, fighting for an end to this horrific violence, we ask him to reclaim the progressive anti-war values on which he built his career. Already, over 60 members of Congress, including at least 4 Jewish House members, have called for a lasting ceasefire. Representative Nadler, you know that the Netanyahu government's far-right expansionist goals are not only morally wrong and devastating to Palestinians, but undermine any potential future for Israeli and Palestinian peace. You have rightfully spoken out against Israeli extremist violence in the West Bank. Please speak out now against Israeli extremist violence in Gaza. Already 1,200 Israelis and over 18,000 Palestinians have been killed, including over 8,000 children. Tens of thousands injured, and almost 2 million people displaced. The United States is increasingly alone in its support of the Israeli government, as demonstrated by the recent UN votes, during which the United States was the only, or one of the only countries in the world opposing a ceasefire. Shame! Only a ceasefire will stop this atrocious violence, create the conditions for a full hostage release, and pave the way to a lasting peace. Congressman Nadler, you launched your career as an anti-war activist, but now your voice is missing from the call for peace. So we ask you, what do you want your legacy to be? Together we call for a ceasefire now!
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
Tonight, we're going to hear some Torah, light Hanukkah candles, and share a few stories. Throughout the night, we will be raising our voices in song together. This might be new for some, but it's something that Jews have been doing for thousands of years, and it's at the heart of movements for social justice for centuries. May song continue to unite us, sustain us, and give us the courage and connection to stay in this fight together. I'd now like to invite Rabbi Abby Stein to speak and to lead us in lighting the Hanukkah candles.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
8 nights ago. Can you hear me? I think I need to stand closer.
Okay.
No?
Okay.
I need to be facing that way. I see it now. Okay, the mic can see. Someone had a megaphone. Is that person still here?
Yeah, we got it.
That might be better.
Richard, where's Richard?
The other was pretty good.
We're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. Okay. I can also scream very loud if needed.
It's good. It's good.
8 nights ago, a few hundred of us gathered a few blocks down at Columbus Circle, organized by my colleagues and I as part of Rabbis for Ceasefire. I will say, one of the things we rabbis are used to is to have to repeat something numerous times until people are listening. But I really don't like this. Because since the beginning of Chanukah, a few thousand more people were killed. We got a few thousand new orphans. And frankly, we identified the bodies of a few more hostages killed either by Hamas or by Israeli bombs. So this is getting really bad. And I want you all to listen to me. Listen to us, not to me. Well, let's start. My name is Abby Stein. I'm a member of If Not Now, along with Jay Fresh, Rabbis for Ceasefire, and a few other groups. In Ashkenazi tradition, and from there in Kabbalistic and in Hasidic traditions, today is called Zot Chanukah. It literally means, this is Chanukah. The last night isn't just the last night, it is the night that encompasses in it every night. The way we spend the last day is the way our entire Chanukah goes. Another tradition, something I grew up with, and if you didn't hear about it until now, well, now you will, is that the last day of Chanukah is also the last day of the high holidays. Anyone still remember those? 2 months ago? 3 months ago? There's a tradition that the final judgment isn't happening until the last day of Chanukah. It is also a day for tshuva, for repentance. Just instead of praying and fasting, we light candles and we eat a lot of unhealthy food. Sounds a lot more fun to me. But the point being, it's a day for repentance. It's a day for tshuva. And it's a day to do that out of joy, out of an understanding that this is the right thing to do, not just because we're afraid. It's the day to focus on peace, not just because people are being killed, even though that is the reality right now, but also because peace, justice, and liberty with dignity for every human being is the right thing to do. I'm going to say one final Hasidic teaching and then I'm done with teaching for tonight and we'll bear with me. There's a quote from an early Hasidic Rebbe who said, what the most pious person, what the holiest person on the planet can accomplish on the holiest days of the year, the most simple person can accomplish on the last day of Chanukah. It's all going to make sense in a minute, I promise. Many of us woke up on October 7th to horrible news. Not just as a community and as a world, but also personally, myself included. Over the next 2 months, oppression, occupation, and injustice, decades in the making, took a horrible turn for the wars. With thousands of innocent Palestinians, thousands of Palestinian children killed, and the vast majority of the population of Gaza displaced. And at the same time, we saw some hostages coming home, and we constantly just see more and more of them being lost. And to quote a former hostage herself, who told to a person whose name I don't like to mention, that when they were kept hostage in Gaza, they were more afraid of the bombs dropped by the Israeli government than they were of their own captors. Not to make the capture sound any better, because keeping any human being unjustly kidnapped or locked up is unjustifiable. But we also know right now that what the Israeli government is doing, it isn't keeping Jews safe. Frankly, it isn't bringing the hostages home. We saw what did, and it was not the bombs, but quite the opposite. But most importantly, it is killing our Palestinian siblings. There's no way to sugarcoat it. There's no way to justify this. Nothing in the world could justify the amount of Palestinian lives lost over the past 2 months.
Right on, right.
Later. Over the past 2 months, We, groups like If Not Now, Rabbis for Ceasefire, we have been focused on getting our own government to call for a ceasefire. There's a lot of injustice happening in the world, but there's only one that gets billions of dollars from our government every year. We started with 11 members of Congress. We are now at over 60. But we are constantly being told that we are just a tiny minority of Jews, which frankly, that tiny minority has brought out tens of thousands of Jews over the past few months, all across the country. But we keep being told that we are simple people, that we can't actually accomplish anything, that we're only making enemies, that we're only flaming the flames of anti-Semitism, which are a big concern for all of us. But in reality, we know that this is our moment. We know that just like on Zot Chanukah, the most simple of people could come together and we can accomplish so much. I look around and I'm yet to see any simple Jews here. You all seem like holy, beautiful, and amazing Jews, not simple to me. But I want us all to know that not to underestimate our power. Today, on Zot Chanukah, on the last day of Chanukah, we, the simple people, lean into our power. Representative Nadler, I know you. He knows me, I promise you. I know you love Judaism. I know you love our Jewish traditions. Today is your chance. It's your chance for tshuva. It is late. I'm not going to say it's never too late. It's already too late. But it's 18,000 dead people too late, and that's better than, as we know, the number is going to keep rising.
Listen up, Jerry.
Today is your day to join your over 60 colleagues and call for a ceasefire. Into our communities, and I will say this as someone with a lot of family in Israel, and an Israeli citizen myself, I deeply believe and know that they would be safer with a ceasefire. And only with a long-lasting peace, with freedom and dignity for every human being, we will be safe. So Congressman, come on, you can do it. We believe in you. Kind of, trying to. But seriously, Jerry, you can do it. You're a Jew. You can always do tshuva. It's time. Okay. Enough of me talking. Hanukkah candles represent a miracle that, let's just call it inspired by a miracle that, according to the Talmud, occurred during temple times. In the temple, in addition to the menorah, which was lit every night, there was one candle that was always burning, an eish tamid, an everlasting flame. Sorry, I'm going off my own script, so. We're gonna sing a song that is about that flame. An everlasting flame burning. Because we understand that every human being is an everlasting flame. Every human being, to be rabbinical again for a second, the lights, the flames of Chanukah represents the flame of God, the divine flame and spark that is every human being. If you think you can light candles while directly or indirectly supporting the killing of people, what you are doing is you're trying to light a small candle while extinguishing the flame of human life. We have a song which follows the words Eish tamid tukad al hamizbeach no tichbeh. An eternal flame should burn on the altar, and it shall never go out.
Let's practice that Hebrew together. Eish tamid tukad. Eish tamid tukad. Al ha-mizbeach. Let's put that together. Eish tamid tukad al ha-mizbeach. Does this work better?
Yes,
okay.
you need to face it.
All right, I'll sort of face these people. Okay, and then the last part is lo tichbeh. And we can sing. Eish tamid tukad al ha-mizbeach, lo tichbeh, lo tichbeh. Let's slow that down and try piece by piece. Call and response. Eish tamid tukad al ha-mizbeach, tukad al ha-mizbeach. Let's put that together. Eish tamid tukad al ha-mizbeach, lo tichbeh, 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 lo tichbeh. Eish tamid tukad al ha-mizbeach, eish tamid tukad al ha-mizbeach, lo tichbeh, lo tichbeh, lo tichbeh, lo. Whole thing. Eish tamid tukad al ha-mizbeach, lo tichbeh, lo tichbeh. Eish tamid tukad al ha-mizbeach, lo tichbeh, lo tichbeh.
We're going to sing more in a second. Tonight we are here because we care for human life. We have come here because we understand that every human life is sacred. When the Torah tells us that a person was created in the image of the divine, that isn't just a cute statement. It means that when we talk about the divine, it is the sum total of every human life. At the root and foundation of our movement is a tradition which is politics of life, sacredness, an understanding that there is a spark that exists in every person that could not be extinguished. There's a second part to the song that we just started. We like to hear Eish tamid. With which side are you on? Originally written by Florence Reese for coal miners who were striking in the 1930s, later adopted and populated in the 1960s by the Civil Rights Movement. In singing this song, we are saying we are on the side of humanity, fighting for safety and justice for everyone, and we want our whole community to join us. We're not going to leave any human being behind.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Jerry Nadler, which side are you on? Which side are you on? Jerry Nadler, which side are you on? Which side are you on? Jerry Nadler, which side are you on? Which side are you on? Jerry, keep it going. Which side are you on? 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 Jerry Nadler, which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
We're gonna keep singing in a minute, but first we're gonna light candles. I know it's cold, and we don't keep anyone for longer than we have to. if you have a menorah with you and you feel safe, as in like, make sure that everyone around you is okay with a fire being lit. If you feel safe, you can light along. If your menorah is up here, I will ask you that once I'm done. So we're gonna do the blessings. We're gonna light one menorah, the tallest one. And then if you have your menorah here, after we're done lighting, we're gonna keep singing Eish Tamid, and I invite you then to come up and light your own menorah. Okay, let's try it. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim leoreinu bayamim ha'em b'azman hazeh. If there's several menorahs here, I don't know who put them, but if your menorah is there, I invite you to come up and light your menorah while we keep singing.
Each Al-Hamizbeach Lo. Anybody come light? Eish Tamid Tukad Al-Hamizbeach Lo Tikbeh Lo Tikbeh. Eish Tamid Tukad Al-Hamizbeach Lo Tikbeh Lo Tikbeh. Eish Tamid Tukad Al-Hamizbeach Lo Tikbeh Lo Tikbeh. Which side are you on? Which side are you on, Jerry Nadler? Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Anyone who wants to light, we got a lot of menorahs here, so anyone who wants to light, please feel free to come up.
Lo Tikbeh, Lo Tikbeh. Eish Tamid Tukad Al-Hamizbeach Lo Tikbeh, Lo Tikbeh. Eish Tamid Tukad Al-Hamizbeach. Which side are you on? Lo Tikbeh. Eish Tamid Tukad Al-Hamizbeach Lo Tikbeh, Lo Tikbeh. Which side are you on? Which side are you on, Jerry Nadler? Which side are you on? 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 Lo Tikbeh, lo tichbeh. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Lo tichbeh. Ishtami to Kadam HaMizbeh.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Jerry Nadler. Which side are you on? 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 Which side are you on?
I'm going to wrap up with one final statement. I want you all to take this in. I know I can't be the only one that has been accused of being, I don't even want to quote all kinds of nice names some of us have been called for daring to say that we believe that the way forward aren't bombs, the way forward is war. And I know that myself, with a, in quotation marks, privilege of being both a rabbi and an Israeli citizen, have been called anti-Semitic, a self-hating Jew. I support killing people, I can go on. But I want you all to look around. Look at this table. Look at these candles. Look at these beautiful faces of our community that are here. We are not here in spite of being Jewish. We are here because of it. We are not here in spite of what happened on October 7th. We are here because of it. We know and believe that the only way our Jewish community anywhere in the world and in Israel is ever going to be safe is with a long-lasting peace that starts with an immediate, permanent ceasefire. And most importantly, we are here because we care for our Palestinian siblings and families who deserve to live. I feel radical saying this, but Palestinians deserve to live and to thrive and to have joy and celebration. And that is the most Jewish thing you can say. And get a hand in the back, Maddie.
Thank you, Abby. Okay, thank you. The wind is not our friend tonight, but it still looks beautiful up here. I'm now going to invite Sophie Elman-Golan from Jews for Racial and Economic Justice and a constituent of Congressman Nadler to share some words. Hi, you're right here. There you go.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'll keep this short because it's chilly, and we've also all been doing this a lot. I know I don't want to keep having to do this, but that's not really an option. We have to keep doing it until Palestine is free. So that's how that goes. So I've lived in New York City my entire life with one exception. In 2003, during the Second Intifada, my family moved to Jerusalem as part of my mother's rabbinical training. And I believe that, like me, like all of us here tonight, Representative Nadler cares deeply about Jewish safety. But what I don't believe is that our safety can or should come at the expense of anyone else. It cannot come from isolating ourselves, from attacking others. It cannot come from ethno-nationalism or militarism. And anyone paying attention to the images coming out of Gaza knows that what we are witnessing and what our government is funding is ethnic cleansing. Now, many in our community continue to defend it, claiming the goal is Jewish safety. We know this is a lie. We know that even if this were true, nothing is worth the atrocities being carried out against Palestinians right now. Another way I know the excuse of Jewish safety is a lie is the footage that came out this week of the Israeli military intentionally desecrating Muslim religious sites. The images last week of the Chanukah going up in Gaza. To use Jewish prayer or iconography as a tool of colonization is to desecrate our own religious practices as well. And it should be obvious that it does not make Jews safer.
Yes. Absolutely.
And yet it is happening in our name, and it is happening with our tax dollars. And as Jews, as Americans, it is incumbent upon each and every one of us to say with our full chests, with the loudest possible voices, to say every single day, not in our name, not on our dime. Not in our name. Not in our dollar. Not in our name. Not in our dollar. Not in our name. Not in our dollar.
Not in our name. Not in our dollars. Not in our name.
Thank you. I'm now going to invite up Eva Borgward from If Not Now to say a few words as well. Hi, Eva. Thank you.
Hi, y'all. I know it's cold, and that's partly what I want to talk about. My name is Eva Borgward. I'm If Not Now's national spokesperson. It is, let me just check, 38 degrees outside. Thank you all for being here anyway. Y'all, as the suffering is escalating on the ground, the repression is also escalating. They are trying to cement a new normal. They are trying to normalize this level of death. Last week, we saw the mainstream TV networks and media dominated by university presidents. And by the question, the apparently essential debate of whether or not anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism.
Shame.
We have seen this playbook before. We saw in 2021, for 1 week, Mohammed Al-Kurd and Noura Erakat were on CNN and mainstream media. And then that was followed by 2 weeks of Jonathan Greenblatt on every mainstream news channel talking about the effects of American Jews on Israel's assault on Gaza. Part of cementing the new normal is that they need to take the narrative back to what is comfortable for them to talk about. Unfolding genocide is not comfortable. Y'all, winter is coming. Winter is here. In Gaza, we're starting to see what that is going to look like. They had rain for like a few minutes earlier this week. There are millions of people who are displaced right now in tents, and we saw the tents filling up with water and people using cups to try to get the water out of the places that they had to live and they had to sleep. Shame. People wading through inches of water, carrying the corpses of their dead kids. Shame. They want us to look away from that. Shame. They want us to retreat into our houses, retreat from the cold, retreat into the warmth, and forget about what we have seen. Never. Peter Beinart, who I believe is actually a constituent of this district, told us that in Jewish tradition, in Jewish law, to free a captive is the highest responsibility. Instead of freeing the captives, the Israeli government has prioritized bombing Gaza. We need to free the captives, all of the captives. As Peter said, that also means freeing millions of Palestinians held captive in Gaza who are themselves refugees displaced from their homes in 1948. We are lighting Hanukkah candles to free all of us and win equality, justice, and safety for all. Every life is sacred, everyone for everyone. Hala Alian, the Palestinian writer and poet, said we owe Gaza our endurance. Like the oil that burned for 8 nights, our endurance will last us through the entire winter if we have to, as long as it takes, until we get a ceasefire, a hostage exchange, a de-escalation, and an actual political solution where everyone can be safe and free. Jewish liberation will never be achieved by massacre in Gaza. The genocide of our people will never justify supporting an unfolding genocide in Gaza. There used to be hundreds of people with my last name. Hundreds of us, generations ago. Now there are only a handful of us left. That is happening to Palestinians today. Entire families wiped out. 45 people in one family, 90 people in another. And y'all, currently, the Biden administration is having its State Department bypass Congress to send more weapons to that same genocidal government. While he lights Hanukkah candles inside the White House and tells Jews that Israel is the only place we can be safe. How dare he abdicate responsibility for the millions of us living right here? And how dare he say that his support for this horrific war is somehow in solidarity with Jews? He invokes the place where many of our Israeli and Palestinian loved ones live, while potentially dragging the entire region into a broader regional war that will endanger Palestinians and Israelis alike. And if that weren't enough, his support for this war, against the wishes of nearly 80% of the Democratic base who want a ceasefire, could very well throw the next election to Donald Trump and the white supremacist movement he represents. How dare he say this about our safety while endangering our lives? So we are here to say, as Jews, to ask our Jewish Congressman Jerry Nadler, for the sake of our Palestinian loved ones, for the sake of our Israeli loved ones, continue to demand a ceasefire now!
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
We're gonna wrap up now. I just want to say, I can't hear you yet. You can't hear me. Hello? Hello? I'm just gonna yell. Yeah. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check.
Mic check!
Great. Great. Okay. Okay. Oh, you can stop for one moment. Okay, thank you all for coming together to light Hanukkah candles.
Thank you all for coming together to light Hanukkah candles.
Thank you for joining us to demand that Representative Nadler support an immediate ceasefire.
Thank you for joining us to demand that Representative Nadler support an immediate ceasefire.
I'm just gonna yell this part, but thank you for the effort. And use his leverage as the senior Jewish official in the House to stop the Israeli government's ongoing massacre in Gaza. You can stay connected to the movement by texting, and this part please repeat, by texting "if not now" with no spaces,
If not now, with no spaces,
to 88504.
to 88504.
That's "if not now" to 88504.
If not now, to
88504. Great. Okay. That's to stay connected, so then you will get text messages about future actions. So just please keep calling, keep emailing, keep protesting with any group, not just us. Our voices are so needed right now, so urgently. And if you do want to join us, we'll be meeting on Sunday at 4 p.m. to demand that Chuck Schumer call for a ceasefire. We'll be meeting at West 72nd and Central Park West. This is Sunday at 4, but if you sign up for the texts, you will get an alert. This is also, you'll see this on our Instagram at ifnotnow.nyc. The last thing I want to say is that the marshals have postcards that you can take home and fill out and then send. And on your song sheets is a QR code to sign a petition if you are a Nadler constituent. So please take a look at your song sheet or find one in the crowd and use the QR code. And finally, now you're going to repeat after me. Congressman Nadler!
Congressman Nadler!
As constituents of your district,
As constituents of your district,
we ask of you
we ask of you
to call for a full, permanent ceasefire.
to call for a full, permanent ceasefire.
To help bring the hostages home.
To help bring the hostages home.
And to end war and occupation.
And to end war and occupation.
Because every life
Because every life
is a sacred life.
is a sacred life.
Congressman Nadler,
Congressman Nadler,
please hear our cries.
please hear our